The Dead Lucky, issue number 3 from Image Comics. So yeah, the other series in the Radiant verse, in the Supermassive verse, have been on a good track lately. I reviewed Rogue Sun earlier, and that was good, and so was the previous issue for that. Radiant Black has been okay for the most part, getting a little bit better. This issue, though, has not. It started off pretty terrible, and it has not really gotten much better. It is only 3 issues. I don't know. I'm hoping that it'll eventually find its footing and improve. But yeah, it's kind of boring. So we have Morrow, and we start off with the commercial. It's your generic commercial about how we're here to help you and stuff. And the I guess the guy who runs Morrow, I don't know if he's a CEO, the president, whatever. He's kind of like, this commercial sucks. It's pretty boring. Like, it's so passive. He wants to show like a force of strength. He wants to show all the great things that Morrow can do, but everyone else at the meeting is like, the Skull Lady and her big robots has become a local hero. The people love her, and if we do anything, it might turn people even more against us. Like, people are already kind of not with us, or a little bit wary of us. So we gotta kind of ease them in with these kind of commercials about how we're there for them. And he's like, well, if this Skull Lady is in our way, then the best way is to get people to stop liking her. I got one guy points out, like, people are fickle. As soon as she makes a mistake, gets someone hurt, they'll turn on her. So the president's like, all right, so let's engineer that mistake. And then we have the police officer. I don't even remember her name. She is having a meeting with Eddie and Bibi, and Eddie is a little bit wary of her because she's a cop, and she also has a Morrow rep following her around, like a Morrow rep as her partner at the moment. And he's like, what's to stop her from turning us in? And of course, Bibi's all for having her along, and Eddie says, anytime a hot person comes along, you kind of just fall all over them, in a sense. Like, you're willing to kind of not pay attention to what could be a trap. And I'm like, wait a second, isn't Bibi straight? Eddie is her previous boyfriend, and there's some hint that she also dated Ghost, who is a fellow soldier, like, her partner and stuff back when she was overseas. But I guess now she's bisexual because she has this thing for the cop. And then later on, the cop and her even share a moment, and they kind of like touch hands and stuff. So the cop has feelings for Bibi as well, which bothers me. It doesn't bother me that they're homosexual. I don't care about that. What bothers me is that it feels like we were just getting random romance. Like, they don't even know each other. There's no like build up. It's just, oh, I'm a girl, you're a girl. We're now going to be shoving our tacos against each other in a sense. Like, it's just, I don't know. I mean, thankfully they don't jump into anything right now, but we're already setting up that there's like feelings between the two. And it's like, this is like the first time we're actually seeing them talking to each other, and there's already feelings there. It just seems really rushed. And again, where did the whole homosexuality come from with Bibi? Like, everything previously, there's no setup that she's a lesbian or that she's bisexual. I'm gonna just say bisexual because she's had male partners. Again, I don't care about this. It's just set it up. Like, this, it just kind of came out of nowhere. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, they are in San Francisco, so I guess four of our main characters, 3 of them are gay. So, okay. But one of them, it just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, there's no setup for Bibi. And yeah, I know I've said it before, but again, I honestly don't care. Like, my favorite comic book character of all time is a lesbian. My favorite male comic book character of all time is bisexual. Like, I don't care about if these characters are homosexual or anything like that. Just, if you set it up that she's one thing and then you just change it out of nowhere, it just kind of, it threw me off for a moment. I was just like, wait, Bibi is having feelings for this cop who she just met, even though she's had male partners in the past? Where is this going? But yeah, there's really no action in this issue whatsoever. Actually, yeah, there's like almost none. It's just talking, And then near the end, the Morrow instigates a assault on the city, and the Skull Lady shows up. Dead Lucky shows up, and there's only just like one brief moment where there's like not even a fight. She just kind of chucks one of the robots, and then there's like a fire in her restaurant, and her dad is still trapped inside, and then she has a PTSD attack, and I'm like, okay, we're finally bringing the PTSD thing in. I still don't feel like it's conveyed well. I don't know. My guess is that the writer never suffered from PTSD and is just maybe they're researching, but they're researching on Wikipedia or something, or maybe they just seen like other movies that have characters with it, but it's like a Hollywoodized version. I'm saying this because it doesn't feel like Bibi has PTSD. I've said it in the last issue. I don't have PTSD myself. I have mental health issues. For anyone who doesn't know, I suffer from socialized anxiety disorder, agoraphobia, panic disorder, and at times generalized anxiety disorder. I have not self-diagnosed myself. I've been diagnosed by professionals, multiple professionals. So yeah, basically I'm saying this because when I see a character in TV, movies, whatever, who claim to have agoraphobia, I can tell if the writer has any idea of what agoraphobia actually is or not based off of the portrayal. Like I've seen a TV show where one of the characters has agoraphobia, and then the very next scene he's at a party surrounded by a crowd of people and he's completely fine. And it's like, no, that's not how agoraphobia works. For anyone who's interested in like a perfect representation of agoraphobia, I did a video on it. It was, I forgot the title, but it's on Jessica Cruz. Jessica Cruz for the Green Lantern's rebirth before the writers changed. Like the first 20 or so issues had a really perfect portrayal of agoraphobia with panic disorder. I'm kind of rambling on that now, but yeah, basically what I'm trying to get at is that it doesn't feel like Bibi has PTSD. It feels like the series is telling us she does. Like, she's like, oh, I'm having a PTSD. The lettering in at the end of issue number 1 mentioned that the character was dealing with PTSD, but I've never really got that feeling. It's supposed to be PTSD with survivor's guilt because her platoon, whatever you want to call it, her squad got killed off. She's the only one that survived. Now she has survivor's guilt with PTSD. I don't get that whatsoever with this character, and it's just, yeah, it feels like this issue. It's like I know what they want to do. They're just executing it poorly, and that's the best way to describe this series so far. Is that interesting premise, poor execution. Characters are just, I don't care about any of them. It looks like they're trying to develop some kind of relationship going on between some of the characters. It's the execution is terrible. Like it just kind of comes out of nowhere. There's no like setup or build up. The Morrow, like why are they this ash-hole-ish? Like we never really set up why. We don't even really know exactly what they want. Like they're trying to take over the city, so they're moving a bunch of people out, but at the same time they're trying to help the people, or at least they claim to. Like, is this supposed to be, or Morrow supposed to be representing the government and overreach and stuff? Is that what you're trying to do? If so, again, execution. For example, Bibi has these powers, but we never really get into what they do. It's like something like electrical currents, and somehow it manifests the spirits of the platoon who died with her. But she doesn't know how she got these powers. She doesn't really know how exactly they work. But she also doesn't go out of her way to try to figure them out. Like you would think if you got these powers out of nowhere, you would try to find out how you got them, why you have them. Are they permanent? Is there any weaknesses? But no, she just gets introduced right from the get-go as someone with PTSD, survivor's guilt, but we never get to see how, and it's never really portrayed all that well. And she has these powers that she knows nothing about, and she doesn't decide to learn any of them. She just decides to become a hero for reasons. It's like this series wants to do a lot of things, but it's not executing anything well. It's a lot of tell, don't show. Okay, she has these powers. All right, why? Why does she have these powers? How does she get them? What do they do? It doesn't matter. Okay, she's going to be in this potential romantic relationship with this cop woman. Why? They've hardly ever talked to each other. This is like the first time they're really having a conversation. Everything previously we've seen with Bibi, she's been with dudes. Why is she all of a sudden gay now? How did that happen? Why is this cop having feelings for Bibi? She hardly knows Bibi. Where is this coming from? It doesn't matter. It's happening. Deal with it. Why does she want to be a hero? She wants to protect her city. Why? Why exactly does she want to protect her city? When we see, her in a restaurant, the city doesn't seem all that well towards her. We have tourists coming in and kind of making light of her family and their heritage and stuff. So we're not getting any reasons for anything happening. It's just happening, and you just have to go along with it. And it's very, like I said, poorly executed. Things just happen. There's no reason for them. There's no setup for them. Just deal with it. And that's very terrible writing. But yeah, it feels like just poor execution. Nothing really seems to be working here. I know what you're trying to do. You're just not really doing a good job of it. And that's kind of the series as a whole. It's just kind of boring as well. The characters aren't all that interesting. The action scenes are very few. There's way too much talking for a tokusatsu-inspired series. It's just meh. So yeah, there you go. There's Deadlock issue number 3. I didn't care for it. I haven't been all that gung-ho about this series since issue 1. So hopefully it improves. I mean, all the other series in the Supermassive verse took a while. Radiant Black didn't start getting interesting until 3.5, 4 issues in. Rogue Sun has just recently gotten, interesting with this issue and the issue that I just did today, and then the previous issue. So maybe this series needs to find its footing. It's just I don't know. We'll see if it gets better. But so far it's been pretty lackluster. I can't really recommend this series at this point in time. There you go. There's Deadlock issue number 3. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.